Two, one. Good evening, everybody. How you doing? This is Paulo Sultanum right here, straight from San Francisco, California, with another Tamo Junto SF. Tamo Junto SF, which in Portuguese means we're together. We're together on this. We're live every night from 8 to 9 p.m. here on Facebook at our page, Tamo Junto SF. Our guest tonight, directly from Recife, Pernambuco, now living in the Bay, Mr. Paulo Sultanum. He'll be talking about the band Casulo and a lot of bossa and jazz and samba by the Bay. Don't miss it, all right? Here's the first track from Casulo called Fafi. Welcome everyone, boa noite pra quem é de boa noite, bom dia pra quem é de bom dia. Estamos juntinhos aqui no Tamo Junto SF. Simbora? Hello, Bola. Oh yeah! Boa noite para quem é de boa noite, bom dia para quem é de bom dia. Gostaria de mandar um abraço para todo mundo que acompanha o Tamo Junto aqui. Hoje à noite já estou vendo Adolfo Bola Arias está aqui com a gente. Celso Braz da Brasil Best Magazine, que é o nosso patrocinador especial. O canal Brasil Best é o seu canal para as informações da comunidade brasileira in San Francisco. So if you're tuning in right now, this is Tamo Junto. We're here every night from 8 to 9 p.m., shining a light on local artists and international acts that relate to Brazilian music somehow. And this is sponsored by Brazil Bass Magazine. Please come visit online, brazilbass.com, the new radio station, 24 hours going right there on the right column with a nice selection of music that Celso Brass prepared specially for us. Tonight, I have a very special guest, someone that I consider a very friend of mine, also new dad, fresh out of the womb, and he is from the city of Recife, which for me is the major culture spread in Brazil. And he's been doing a great job up here with his band Casulo, where he's mixing his influences of bossa, samba, and northeastern rhythms like maracatu and forró and all that stuff. Without further ado, I would like to introduce you to Paulo Sultanum. E aí, Paulinho, beleza?
Grande Pressoto, very well. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know, we're doing this quarantine thing and being very conscious of keeping the good spirits and working on staying positive because that's really all we can do at this point. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling well. I had a good day. Yeah, just trying to stay sane.
Let me ask you a question. Are you not able to wear headphones because I can feel the feedback coming?
Oh, I can have headphones. I
Yeah,
also
that will help.
okay. I also can't see you as well.
Oh, can you not?
I know I can't see. It's like yes. Oh, the small ones.
I think, why would that be? Did you click on the Zoom window? Because I see myself and you, and you can see us on Facebook, but delayed.
Yeah, and I can't seem to. We were together, but somehow it got disconnected. Let me
Got
try
this?
Zoom.com. Sorry, it was just
Oh no, you have to be able to find the little Zoom link on the bottom right of your page. It's a blue link that looks like a camera.
okay, I did. I think I'm joining join a meeting. It's asking me to join again, which is not
Oh, really? I can still see you and hear you very well.
how funny.
But Francisco Carneiro está aqui com a gente nesse momento. O nosso amigo Ricardo Mantovani de Piracicaba. Deixa eu ver quem mais está aqui com a gente agora à noite. Ó, Celcinho Brás chegou. Lilian Pulga, que está aqui todos os dias. Carlinhos, rapaz. Carlos Rodrigues Filho, o famoso Carlinhos, está aqui com a gente hoje à noite também. Sabe que eu conheci Paulinho assim, eu acho que foi um lance meio maracatu pacífico, se eu não me engano, né? Porque Paulinho era um dos batuqueiros do Maracatu Pacífico, mas o Casulo se tornou o projeto mais majoritário, né? Dentro da. Hoje em dia a gente se desdobra muito para achar tempo para fazer as coisas, né? Então às vezes acaba que a gente precisa selecionar os projetos, né, cara? Quanto tempo já faz que você tá aqui na Bay Area, Paulinho? How long have you been around now in the Bay?
I've been here for. I arrived here in January 2011, so 8 years, 9 years,
It's a good 8 years. Yeah, yeah.
6 years, right? Yeah, I stopped counting at some point.
Yeah, man. I have started doing the same because I've arrived here in 2001, so it's been a minute. And but you came straight from Recife. What was your background? Because you're a plastic artist. You work with murals. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your professional activities.
Well, I moved here from Sao Paulo, from your home state. I was living there. I had been living there for a couple of years and decided to move to San Francisco and start restart and started as a fine artist, paintings and working with the murals, and had some fun doing that. Had some murals painted in the Bay Area and some exhibits. A fun one in South Korea at the Toilet Museum.
Oh wow. And why San Francisco?
I was in search of a place, and I think San Francisco. Just I spoke to two friends who had lived here. One a very close friend of mine, and another one who's my very good friend's brother. And they both knew me very well. They said, "If I think if you go to San Francisco, you won't come back. That's your place."
That's a good reason. You know, if someone tells me, dude, you're gonna go to this place and will never want to come back, all right, I'm going there right now. And then when you moved here in 2011, what was your first contact with the Brazilian music scene? How did you start digging for partnerships and musicians in the Bay?
Well, I will begin with you and Chris. That was a funny. My cousin Junior, who lives in San Leandro, he told me about um, Chris's mother, and he said, there's this party that you have to go if you arrived here and you're a musician. Because I've been a musician since forever, so music has always been my main vehicle or means. So they said you have to meet these. So I ended up at a party at Chris's mom's house where we met you, Chris, and I, and we had a talk. And yeah, that was I think one of my first.
Oh, right on, man. I remember that because let me just tell you, and I want to send a big shout out to Dona Rosalia. Dona Rosalia, it's Chris Thomas' mom, and she is just amazing in promoting birthday parties. And her birthday party, every year, it's a classic because like a lot of the musicians that work with Brazilian music professionally in the Bay go to jam at her birthday party, and it's always incredible. I met Macarrinha there, I met you there, I met Francelino Alves there. A lot of the big players in my musical life I met in that party. Each one in a different year, of course.
Yeah.
And but okay, so party time. When did you think, okay, I have to get serious about this? Because I remember you playing the piano that night, and then I guess you mentioned, well, I'm not really a pianist, but I play the piano. For like, oh, I don't know, this guy needs to get going with the thing here. And when did you decide, okay, so it's time for me to take this serious? When did Casulo come about?
Well, I was first very shy. I had issues with stage fright, so it was very hard for me to go and play in public. So I met the Flower Piano Gang and through Claudia Cusano, artist from the Mission, who you know as well,
Yep.
um, and Mauro and Dean, who are the organizers. Before even I think Flower Piano was out, we were bringing pianos to the Tenderloin, and I was playing more and more, playing more and more, and then people really liked what I was doing, and I started studying again more jazz and Brazilian music as well, because my background had been more of classical and eventually jazz.
Are you classically trained on the piano?
Yes, I am.
Right on.
And then yeah, and then I think playing for the Sunset Piano, which is the organization that produces Flower Piano, was I think the big shift when I started to play, and people started to hear me more, and people started and then I started to meet musicians through Maracatu Pacifico and through friends in Half Moon Bay, and next thing you know, I had a group of 4 or 5 of us playing music together here in my place. We were meeting, and that's where the name Casulo came from. And
Cause yeah, let's dig into the name Casulo. Cause Casulo in Portuguese means that little space where the caterpillar becomes a butterfly,
Butterfly.
right?
Yeah,
And was that the representation of the place you guys were at that time, about to come out as a butterfly?
I think so. I think in a way, I think that analogy is pretty much what happened there then at that moment with me, Priscilla, Johnny, and Ender Meyer trying to make some sound here, and me as well, just flourishing as a pianist and learning all these new tricks that were overwhelming me. And then I eventually started composing a lot. And that was another big thing in my life when I started composing arranged songs and playing in a band. And we got hired for a gig in Half Moon Bay on a beautiful Steinway there. Not a Steinway, actually, that was an upright. That was later. And that's when Casulo started. That was our first gig.
Right on, right on. And I want to show a video for our folks online here that shows a little bit of the evolution, because now the show we're going to display here happened in San Francisco last year, 2019, May 17, right? And this composition is one of your originals called Flower Bossa,
Yes.
which I would say inspired by the fact that you were one of the pioneers of flower piano. Is that a relationship?
Well, I wouldn't say I was one of the pioneers, but I was one of the first players, and I had always played in the same garden
That's the
consistently.
definition of a pioneer, man. One of the first players. Without
I guess
further
I
ado,
was about
let's go ahead and hit that. I want to show folks here this incredible video from 2019. Where is this place you guys shot this? Wait, where are you? I just lost Paulinho for a second. All right. This is Casulo at Cadillac Hotel 2019. And the song is
Flower Boss.
Flower
Okay, so next song is Flower Boss. Is a song I wrote for the Botanical Garden of San Francisco 2 years ago for the flower piano, and a beautiful event. If you guys like piano, check it out on the. Yeah, it's a wonderful event. It's on the Botanical Garden of San Francisco. This happens every year. These crazy guys bring about 15 pianos to the Botanical Garden for 2 weeks. It's pretty cool. Flower Bossa.
Flower Bossa. Olha quem que tá aqui com a gente também. Wow, check this out, the little one. Hey, how's it going? Did I mention Paulinho is a fresh dad? Tell me how you're spending your quarantine there, man. Are you just playing dad every day? Because you're still going to work. What is that about?
Yeah, I'm going to work 3 times a week, and I'm spending time with the baby, which has been a blessing, right? Um,
That's nice. How old is he now?
she is 4. She
She is
turned 4.
four
Yeah,
months.
4 months. Yeah, 4 months.
Okay.
Yeah, she is four
That's
months.
not.
Yeah,
Oh, that's cool, man. I'm expecting one coming in June.
I know you are.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh
it's
my
good.
God,
Yeah,
it's exciting. Man.
once this is all over, we'll take these babies to the park and we watch them roll in sand and do all those amazing things that babies do.
Right?
Uh,
So
let
many
us
things.
let's talk a little bit about the video we just saw. We saw
Okay.
Flower Bossa, which was recorded at the Cadillac Hotel on May 17, 2019. And during the
Yes,
introduction of that song, you did mention that you wrote that for the Botanical Gardens.
I did. I did. I know. It was. Yeah.
And let's chat about the players on that video. I saw Fabio Reis, and then I don't actually know the bass player and the flute player. Who are they?
Bass player is Ollie Dudek, and wind player Ruben Salcido from Pacifica, and Ollie from San Francisco, and Fabio Hayes, as you mentioned, on drums
Yeah,
and
no,
back
we
vocals.
do. We do have Fabio Reis on the line actually here. You wanna call him now or later?
Wow, well, you could call him now. That would be fun to call
let's
him
let-
now.
yeah let's bring him on. Here he comes. Let's promote Fabio to a panelist. Well, he's an interaction to the max here. Now let's call Fabio on the video. Let's see if he's got the courage and if he put on his makeup. Olha aí, Fabito!
Hey!
Beleza
Oh,
pura
hey,
aí?
Brasil!
Beleza pura. Hey, Fabio, I see that you wherever you're at, it's still sunny. Where is your quarantine?
It's beautiful. Check it out.
It is indeed. Oh, I see the sunset back there, man. So you
Yeah.
you you are in San Francisco.
Yeah, I live in the Golden Gate Heights around the inner sunset.
That's nice. No,
I'm
you're
very
close to
glad that
me.
I found this place like 6 months ago and helped me a
That's
lot,
nice. The
Pauline, you know?
difference here is I because I have the problem with the kryptonite, I cannot do the sun, so I created this fake pink sun back here, and then I'm totally fine with that. And Fabio, I saw that you were playing there with Paulinho at the Cadillac Hotel 2017. From your
Yeah.
perspective, when did you join Casulo, and what are your feelings about the project?
Well, I met Paulinho a long time ago when I was playing with Lau and Chico Coelho,
The
Mr. Rabbit,
Highlander, the
at
Highlander.
the Tunnel Top.
Monday nights.
Yeah, Monday nights. I think you play sometimes there with
I
us, right?
have,
Yeah, yeah.
I was crashing some of Lau's performances there.
Yeah, we had a good time there. And Paulinho, he always, not always, but usually he was there just enjoying, the night with us. And actually, I didn't know he was a musician. And that time, for me, Paulinho was a painter. He's an amazing painter. I don't know if you know about this, but
I do, and I do have some links. I want to show some people here. Yeah,
yeah. And well, and we start to talk about music, and both us, we really like old school bossa nova, Brazilian jazz music from the 60s and 70s in Brazil, like Tamba Trio, Moacir Santos, of course, João Gilberto, all these cats like Tom Jobim. And I'm from São Paulo. We play Brazilian jazz a lot there. We love to play Brazilian jazz. But one thing that I really like about Paulinho Sultano, is because he's from Recife. And for me as a musician for a long time, it's really interesting to see Brazilian musicians playing Brazilian music with different accent, kind of,
Yeah.
you know. In São Paulo, we play Brazilian jazz with kind of a Paulista style. Of
Uh-huh.
course, we mix, you know, a lot of different influence too, but it's more like a urban jazz kind of. And Paulinho, he has this influence from the maracatu. He's an amazing maracatu player. He's part of the what is the name of the band?
Maracatu
Maracatu
Pacífico. Yeah.
Pacífico. Yeah, and he showed me some original songs, and I was very excited when Paulinho showed me his songs, because one thing that I figure out after 10 years living in the Bay Area, that we have a lot of Brazilian bands here, but unfortunately we don't have a lot of Brazilian bands playing original music, like composed in songs, you know. And
Yeah.
we have a few, right? Actually, we play
We
together in a
do,
band,
yeah, we do have a half a dozen, but
yeah,
definitely not enough.
yeah,
It feels like, well, San Francisco in general is squeezing a lot of the original music out of town,
yeah.
just because of the structure and the gentrification. Yeah, put on that mask, man. Put on that mask. But Casulo has indeed been an amazing surprise for that front. And Paulinho was saying that, you know, it was part of this, like, he was a little shy and then he started writing. When did you feel like, okay, I'm confident on this composition, let me show some musicians and let's get this going? Paulinho, when was that a light in your head?
Um, I don't know. I think it has to do when I think when I started performing these compositions in the Tenderloin and
Pushed by Flower Piano
in
then.
Plaza. Yeah, and I was playing mostly by myself sometimes, and then eventually with other musicians. I think that's when I was okay. I think, and then when I met Fabio, it was just it was just it's like a split point because Fabio brings all this Brazilian backgrounds of music, of rhythm, and then it just morphed into something else, and I think that allowed a lot of music to come through because we were having this this partnership of rhythm and arrangements, and yeah, I think that's how it started. I think
And I think Kazula, like, I work with northeastern Forró music, which sure is it's gringo friendly, but we're not what you can call the exportation of Brazilian music. And I feel like Kazulo has more of that taste of Brazilian jazz and bossa that is well received outside of Brazil. Did you feel your audience, and then we talked a little bit about that your audience ends up being more international than Brazilian? Do you feel that?
yes, and before I answer that question, Paulo, let me just finish the previous question. My first song I composed, I remember now very clearly, was a classical piece, a 7-minute classical piece, and it's called Tender Rain. And I remember exactly when I started to compose. It was raining in the Tenderloin, and it was the beginning of the Pianos para Vida in Brazil, the project that I started there. And as I was online watching everything on my cell phone, I said, I'm just gonna compose a song. It's an interesting story, but it's true, and that's how I
Tender
composed.
Rain.
It was a
Seven.
classical piece, yeah. The 7-minute piece that took me a while to finish, and then I ended up playing more jazz. Um, so yes, our the people who attend our concerts are usually from a very diverse nationalities, and that's why I prefer to speak English
English.
tonight
Yeah,
because
and
there's
and
lots
Yeah,
of
I just
people.
wanted to acknowledge. Atenção você do Brasil que está nesse momento escutando o Tamo Junto. Estamos aqui juntos falando inglês por conta de que a audiência do nosso programa é híbrida. Ela fala português, inglês, espanhol e contidos na Bay Area, precisamos atentar para esses detalhes muito importantes da audiência em questão. No caso, o Paulinho optou por falar inglês, because that's the language of the audience.
Paulinho,
Isn't
posso
that a
falar uma
beautiful
coisa em
thing?
português? Posso
Por
falar uma coisa?
favor, cara, só não pode xingar porque minha mãe tá aqui.
É quase um xingo. Fora Bolsonaro, por favor.
Ó, tamo junto. Ó, falou aqui, a minha mãe daqui a pouco ela vai me escrever e falar, mas quem que você tá convidando pra esse show seu aí, meu filho? Não faça isso. Mas de qualquer maneira, politicagens à parte, really, the Bay Area does offer that incredible range of diversity. So you feel like
we have Italians, English, Spanish, Americans, Brazilians, South Americans, Europeans, people from
from all over, huh?
all over. So we, yeah.
And one
It's
thing,
hard. It's hard to speak
that
English.
go ahead.
It's hard to speak English, but I usually try to do that in the concerts, also speak English, so these people can understand, what the
I am not afraid of speaking English anymore, and I feel no shame of my accent. So whatever. So let's do this the way
Everybody has accents, right?
Yeah, man, and the accent is super fun. The girls come and compliment my accent. They say it's like Latino, it's sexy. Ooh la la. And well, no, speaking of another thing that gringos really appreciate about Brazil, it's Carnival. And I do think Casulo brings a little bit of that vibe, not necessarily connected to like Carnaval da Bahia or Carnaval from Recife itself, but this beautiful, almost like saudosist taste of the Carnival from the early 20th century. There's one song that we have on our list here tonight called Manhã de Carnaval. Can you talk a little bit about the song and how Casulo decided to record it?
This is a song from the movie, made famous of the movie Black Orpheus.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people, Orfeu Negro. And it's a song, it's a partnership between Vinicius de Moraes and Baden Powell. Most people are familiar with the Baden Powell version, and I like to do the Vinicius version because I'm Vinicius fan, Vinicius de Moraes. He wrote the lyrics, and Baden wrote the music.
That's nice. Let's go ahead and listen. Manhã de Carnaval, written by Jobim.
This is Luiz Bonfá. No, I'm sorry. This is Luiz Bonfá. I thought we were talking about Berimbau.
No. Yeah, Manhã de Carnaval. In Manhã de Carnaval, you were mentioning, did it become public domain already?
I think I would say it did. I don't know.
All right.
After 70 years, I think.
70. So hopefully no big
Brazil.
label will crack us here. But I'm going to play Manhã de Carnaval by Casulo, and we'll be right back. You guys, I'm here with Paulo Sultanum and the band Casulo. This is Manhã de Carnaval. Tamo junto. Paulo Sultanum.
Manhã tão bonita, manhã na vida uma nova canção, cantando só teus olhos, seus beijos, minhas mãos. Pois há de haver um dia no que virá nas cordas do meu violão, que só meu amor procurou. Vem uma voz falar dos beijos perdidos nos lábios meus.
É, meus amiguinhos, estamos aqui diretamente de São Francisco with another Tamo Junto SF. And I would like to remind you all that the show would not be possible without Brazil Best Magazine, your channel for information within the Brazilian community in San Francisco. Please access BrazilBest.com if you like to get informed about what's going on within the Brazilian community in the Bay Area. BrazilBest.com. Tonight we have Paulo Sultanum and now Fabio Reis from the band Casulo. Let's bring them back. How are we doing, guys?
Doing well.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Well, first, Manhã de Carnaval. Who was playing the flute on this version of Manhã de Carnaval?
Ruben Salcido.
Ruben Salcido.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
Yeah.
And
Just want to say, Man Carnaval is one of our low songs because we have a dynamic when we play, and we go up and then we go down. So Maya is when we kind of smoothen out and there's this like chilled.
it's a good representation of a carnival morning, actually, because most carnival nights are super intense. So you stay out partying your life away to 6, 7, God knows what time in the morning, and then the next morning you're feeling like and you're from the land of Carnival, Paulinho. Have you been a folião since early age? Tell us some Carnival stories, man.
Yeah, it runs in the family. My grandfather, my mother, my great grandfather. We've been going to Carnival in Recife for I think many generations, and yeah, it runs in the family. My grandma's cousin is one of the greatest composers of Frevo Capiba. So we went as fully on as very little kids, dressed up and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, and for everyone out there, man, if you have, once Brazil is back in business and we eliminate some of the spoiled oranges, as they might call it, Carnival in Recife is one of the spectacles you have to see in this lifetime. It's really amazing. It's like centuries and centuries of tradition, and they take that thing really serious. But another place that has been taking Carnival really serious is São Paulo, the
Yeah.
land of our buddy Fabio Reis. But Fabio, you don't look like the Carnival type.
Well, I play a lot, like a lot more like as a drummer in Carnival, but mostly snare. Um, I like music from different parts of the world. I grew up like listening all type of music, but of course, Brazilian music is something so beautiful. Specifically, the music that I play with Paulo, because I play in different bands, different projects in the Bay Area, in Brazil too. But
The life of the
one of my
musician.
favorite type of Brazilian music. Music. I think the bossa nova put Brazil in the top of the world. Back in the '60s and '70s.
That's
When
for sure.
Stan Getz and Frank Sinatra record our music. And again, the whole my first teacher actually was the one of the jazz players in Brazil. I forgot the name of the band now, and whatever. Yeah, I love the carnival, but I'm not a folião. I'm not the person that go
I
to.
can see I
Yeah,
can see
no,
that in your critical face.
I always was part of the music
The
scene.
drum line. Yeah.
Playing music for people actually jump and drink and have fun.
Right on.
But one of my favorite carnivals in Brazil actually is in Olinda.
Oh yeah, Olinda, man. Oh
But
my
because
goodness.
it's still kind
Yeah.
of the old school carnival on the street. Everybody's playing, and I think the carnival in Rio de Janeiro that I had the opportunity to actually be part. I like the pre-carnival before the carnival.
Oh yeah, I
The
felt the
regular
same
carnival.
way. I
Yeah.
went to Recife in January, and for like 20 days I was going to all the rehearsals, the warm-ups and the opening ceremonies,
Right?
and that was amazing.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once Carnival started happening, it wasn't as great.
Many people, right?
Yeah, I know, man. But another thing, let me just turn left here for 1 second. One thing I would like to show folks tonight, because I was super happy to see, is the website for Casulo. I don't know who put this together, but it's so nice to navigate, and it has everything you need to know in order to stay up to date with what Casulo is doing.
That
I'm
was
gonna
Kaka
share.
Carini. That's her credit.
Oh
Kaka,
yeah.
she's wonderful. She has a company and she does a great job.
It looks really nice, man. Let me put that on screen so then we can talk about it a little bit. So here it is, Booyah. So now you see Casulo's website. This is the homepage. It has this beautiful video of one of the flower piano performances. And again, I was just reminding everyone that Casulo as a band and Paulo Sultano as the piano player, they have a very intimate relationship with flower piano, which happens once a year at Botanical Gardens, and you can dig that right here. Another thing you can find here is this incredible just music player. So you just come here. You're gonna listen to Fafi that we just heard. You can listen to Flower Bossa, some of the cover songs that Casulo performed, and we also have a basic booking contact with a beautiful picture. Where is this picture, Paulo? This one with the
This
super
was
blue
in Vernon
sky.
Heights. The Piano Cisco guys hired me to play there. This was at the top of San Francisco,
Oh, that's
top
so
of
cool.
Vernon Heights.
That's very
Yeah,
cool, man.
that was really cool. Yeah.
And diving a little bit into your art and the paintings and the murals, where can we find out more about the work you do?
I have a Flickr account, flickr.com/psultanum. So
All
it's
right, so
FLI, .com/psultanum.
here it
Yeah,
is.
there you'll find all my, not all, but a lot of my paintings that I was able to put on. And if you go to albums, um, this was my, and you go to the Lou series, on the left top
Oh
corner.
yeah, I see it.
That went to a museum in South Korea, and I had a solo exhibit there, and they bought 4 pieces for the toilet, World Toilet Foundation. It's there in their permanent collection.
That's very cool, man. The
I
World
know.
Toilet Foundation. And I have to say that the Brazil Bass magazine features once a month the artist of the
They
month.
featured me already.
They
Celso
did,
Braz.
yeah.
Yes,
Celso Braz. Celso
absolutely.
Braz is
Celso Braz.
always here with us.
Thank you, Celso. Many years
Absolutely, man.
ago, he featured me there. Yeah. Some of
Oh,
his
that's
paintings,
so
actually.
cool.
Yep.
And but you still have a job? What is this thing about? You have a baby, you have a band, you're an artist, and you have a job. How is that even possible?
I'm not all of them at the same time. That's how you make it possible.
Yeah, let me navigate through some other things
I think
here.
discipline helps a lot. I've always heard that discipline is what frees one, and I believe that. I feel like discipline helps you be able to do things, because I want to. Music is part of my life, it's part of what I do. It's like it's me, so I have to do it.
Yeah, we keep having this conversation with some of our guests here, and I want to throw you guys in that discussion as well, because most of us do a lot of work from home already. So we do have that consistent creative process in the house is where we play the guitar and we start composing it and we do all that stuff. During this pandemic, what has really changed for you and what kind of positive message you got from this time of confinement? Fabião, qual é a lição que o coronavírus está te dando aí? Que depois que tudo isso passar, você vai lembrar e falar: caralho, é isso aí, mano.
Enjoy life, you know. We never know. Um, Yeah, that's it. Enjoy life and stay close to the people that you love and your family, your community, and that's it. You know.
Yeah, I like to quote one of my favorite performers in Brazil right now, Benegão. And
I like.
Benegão wrote a song called Priorize as Prioridades. Please prioritize the priorities, people. It's really something. Paulinho, what's your takeaway here? What are we doing wrong that nature put us in our room and told us you stay there and think about what you did?
I think first the political divide that's happening made us not really see what's happening because there's people talking about things that aren't really relevant to the issue because of political BS. Pardon my French. And but I think what I'm taking positive out of this is it's really slowing down. I think we were going too fast as a society. I like that we're slowing down. I know that there's a lot of people going through a lot of hardship, and I'm going myself too because I had incomes. We actually, Fabio Reis, we had a concert tonight. Remember? We had a concert
Oh, really?
tonight at the Yacht
Well,
Club in
you
Sausalito.
okay?
It's
You
tonight.
are one of my maybe 30
Yeah. You
concerts that
forgot.
were canceled.
You forgot to send me the email canceling that gig. And you know what else? Also, tomorrow, Saturday. On Saturday, Brian Moran from the Oakland Samba Review,
Oh, nice.
they
He's
were
pretty
gonna
cool.
have this huge thing at the Sound Room in Oakland, and they couldn't make it, of course. But we're gonna have them here. So we're
Cool.
gonna have Brian Moran and
Yeah,
Zach
welcome.
Nice.
Smith and the Oakland Samba Review. So if you guys are free,
Of course,
Cool.
come join us.
Well,
And
you're
tonight
amazing.
was a very good gig. It was a nice gig on a deck by the waters, and we, it's a good. It was a good paying gig. So we also lose the income,
you
talking.
know,
So there's that. We lost a
speaking
lot
of
of income as a musician.
speaking of income, guys, up there in the description, you see our donation handle on Venmo. So if you feel like you want to support this show, you want the show to continue and the artist to be displaying this work that keep you sane and feeling good at your shelter, please patronize us.
Yeah,
We do want that help as well, and we need it more than ever because things are really rough out there. So give us a donation, Venmo at Brasilectro. It's that one right there. Now, one thing you mentioned during Casulo's shows that folks will be able to follow along from the opening to the end of the show is this dynamic, right? You go up, you go down, you upbeat, lower tempo stuff, and one of your really strong influences is the music of the northeast of Brazil, especially forró music, and I want to say Luis Gonzaga. How did you feel like, because Luis Gonzaga, it's almost the opposite of bossa nova, and just you can throw rocks on me,
Yep.
but when I look at the composition style and the execution, Luis Gonzaga was like primal. He wanted to do the thing simple, square, ready to dance, so people can copulate. That's his thing. Versus the bossa nova were making all this complicated variations, this and that. How do you interlace both of these styles in your band?
That's a great question, Paulo. Really good question because first of all, we call what we do bossa folk because what Luis Gonzaga does is folk music. So what we do is we like to call ourselves bossa folk band because we try and merge more of these two realities. Whereas bossa nova is I'm in Rio, I am having a good life, having a drink, and therefore I'm writing a love song. And it's it's almost unreal. Whereas Luis Gonzaga is I'm in the countryside. It's dry. We're poor.
Struggle.
We're starving, and it's a struggle. And it's a very strong political, um, usually very strong political messages and protests. and harmonically much simpler, rhythmically also, but not, because you know how music from the Northeast, there's that cadence that is different. So I think the combination of both is just a reality of who I am as a musician. So Luis
Well,
Gonzaga was part of my upbringing. My dad would play Luis Gonzaga. We had all his records, and we would be tested, like in a good way, about the songs, what they meant. We would drive in the car and like, oh, this is the song, what it means. And so it was very. And Asa Branca was the first song I ever performed at school at age 10, 11. I would perform in the middle of the court. They would bring the piano and I would perform Asa Branca, because it's
Such
such a
classic,
simple,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
classic, yeah.
absolutely. Fabian, you were gonna say something.
no, just like how we play like a berimbau, man. It's a classic Brazilian jazz, right? A lot of people knows here this song, right? And the references are like the from Rio de Janeiro, right? And the syncopated and how Paulo play his piano. First, he doesn't put a lot of notes. He tried to. He's kind of a minimalista, right? How he plays the piano. I
And
think this is
in a percussive way too, which I
yeah, it's very
noticed. It's
percussive, and but we have our version of Berlin Ball, and I believe it's because he has this influence from like maracatu, forró, coco, so many beautiful music from northeastern Brazil, né? And I'm always learning also because I'm from South Brazil, from São Paulo, and of course I know this type of music, but I didn't grow up there, right? And it's really interesting to see how he create his music. And it's a mix actually of bossa nova and Brazilian jazz, kind of a classical music, but also forró and everything.
it's amazing.
Yeah, it's
I
really cool.
I like the label bossa folk. That tells me a lot right there. And your ability, Paulo, to navigate both worlds, this more sophisticated bossa language, and you have that classical training, and you're able to communicate with musicians. At the same time, you have the groove and the roots of Northeastern music to print that particular groove and the syncopation that's necessary to get everybody moving. So that's really awesome. Without further ado, with that little cancha, I will go ahead and play Casulo's version of a classic Luis Gonzaga tune with you right now at Tamo Junto, Asa Branca. We'll be right back. If you're just tuning in, Tamo Junto. We're here every night from 8 to 9 p.m. in California, 12 to 1 a.m. in Brazil, presenting good music, friends, family.
Olhei a terra ardente com a fogueira de São João. Eu perguntei a Deus do céu, por que tamanha judiação? Eu perguntei a Deus do céu, por que tamanha judiação? Braseiro que fornalha tem um pé de plantação. asa branca, bateu asas do sertão. Então se eu disse adeus, Rosinha, guarda contigo meu coração. Então se eu disse adeus, Rosinha, guarda contigo meu coração.
Minha gente, estamos aqui juntinhos com Paulo Sultanum Fabio Reis da banda Casulo. Tem sido um prazer aqui trocar ideia com a rapaziada. I'd like to remind everyone that Tamo Junto SF, it's a daily show until the quarantine is over. So we're having our friends, we're having folks that we work with just come here, play music, catch up, check up on each other and see how we're doing. I would like to acknowledge some of our friends here online. Angélica, ¿cómo estás? Muchas gracias por pasar aquí toda la noche y decir hola. Bonjour, Eurilène de la France. Bonjour à tous. Les Français, mais corps, c'est pour toi. A Lilian Pulga, que tá sempre aqui com a gente, a galera do Brasil Best Magazine, Celso Braz, Emily Jones is my favorite Brazilian Indian singer. You know Emily? She's amazing, man. Danilo Portugal está aqui com a gente hoje, a Mônica Amado, Adriano Goldenstein, o Fernando Guarani, Kiová Souza, da banda Maracatu Pacífico, e todo mundo que acompanha aqui o nosso querido Tamo Junto SF. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Let me bring the boys back to the screen here. So we can say bye-bye. E aí, rapaziada? Tudo em cima aí?
Tudo em paz.
Graças a Deus, cara. It's time. It's the end of our hour. It's 9:02 p.m. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. You really inspire me as this cultural bridge between Recife that I love and San Francisco that I love. I don't know which one I love more, but it's like two babies of the same family almost for me. And I remember that crazy conversation about the stories that could be part of a future book of Paulo Sultano that we're not going to talk about tonight. But there's more art coming out of Paulo Sultano that we don't know about, but we will. Paulinho, muito obrigado. It's a pleasure to have you. And Fabião, brigadão aí, ó, de colar na nossa aí.
Salve, Jorge.
Absolutely. You wanna say bye, shout outs to anyone? This is the time.
Me or Paulo?
Both. Not at the same time.
I'm missing Paulo a lot. I want
too,
to play with Casulo soon. And I would like to say thank you, Paulo Pressoto. We have two Paulos tonight. Paulo Pressoto, thank you so much for your, your energy, your positivity, and your show here and support also the Brazilian community.
Tamo junto.
Really great. Thank you so much. And today is St. George Day in Brazil.
It is, yes.
My Orixá is Ogum, and I'm very happy. I have my protection here, my plants, and that's it. Thank you so much.
A espada de São Jorge. Thank you, Paulinho. You go.
Thank you, Fabio Reis. Love to play with you. Love you. You're a great friend and a great musician, and so much has happened after we started playing together. Paulo Pressoto, thanks for hosting us and for being this powerhouse in the culture of the Bay Area. It's really cool what you do, what you've done, and what you will do in the future. And thanks, Celso Braz, Maracatu Pacifico for also bringing us all together somehow, and everyone who's watching too.
Absolutely. You guys, this video will be available on our YouTube channel tomorrow morning. Go to youtube.com/Paulo Presoto. Also, the past episodes of Tamo Junto is there. And that's it. I'm going to leave you with Berimbau, which is that version Fabio was talking about. And I will be seeing you all tomorrow. Remember, do not go anywhere. Stay inside and protect yourself as much as you can. We do have the freedom of not coming or not going because we can't afford it. Now, if you cannot afford, don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to give a shout out to a friend, to a family member, to someone. Do not stay alone on this because after all, tamo junto. More than ever, it's time that we rely on each other, that we give each other tools and support so we can all come out of this crisis stronger and together. Okay? I will see you all tomorrow night. Here is Berimbau, Casulo. Boa noite, galera.
Quem é homem de bem não trai o amor que lhe quer. Seu bem, quem diz muito que vai, não vai assim como não vai. Não vem quem de dentro de si não sai, vai morrer sem amar ninguém. O dinheiro de quem não dá é o trabalho de quem não tem capoeira que é bom. Não cai se ele cai bem. Capoeira me mandou dizer que já chegou para lutar. Berimbau me confirmou, vai ter briga de amor, tristeza camarada. Se não tivesse o amor, se não tivesse essa dor, e se não tivesse o sofrer, e se não tivesse o chorar, melhor era tudo se acabar, melhor era tudo se acabar. Eu amei demais. O que eu sofri por causa de amor, ninguém sofreu. Eu chorei, perdi a paz, mas o que eu sei que ninguém nunca teve mais do que
Brazilian music, quality stuff, Casulo, right here at Tamo Junto. I'll see you all next time. Tomorrow, it's another day in paradise.